When you were growing up, did your parents tell you, be responsible when you did something bad and got in trouble? Well, it's actually one of the most important bits of advice your parents could have ever given you. And today I'm going to talk about why. It was about 3.5 years ago, and I was at one of my best friend's wedding. It was actually the day after her wedding, and I had woken up in my hotel room, and I literally felt so uncomfortable in my own body that I wanted to jump out of it. Now, this feeling that I had was stronger than any sort of frustration, sadness, anger that I've ever felt before. You see, the night before, I had gotten into a huge fight with my boyfriend at the time, and this was in the middle of the reception. There was so much yelling and pushing and just complete disregard for where we were at the time. The sad thing was that most of that PDA, public display of anger, was coming from me. For as long as I can remember, I didn't have a lot of control over my emotions. When I was younger, I had really low self-esteem, and I was always anxious. I went through years of on-again, off-again sadness, feelings of neglect and abandonment, and eventually a lot of those feelings as I got older turned to anger that I felt like I couldn't control. I mean, it was literally like an outer-body experience. I found myself in my friendships always feeling like I had to fight for my friends' approval or for their attention, and then as I started dating, I found myself in that same position, fighting for their affection and love and attention. I felt like I was always swimming against this really strong current, trying to get to this beautiful island that I thought everybody else was at, but I was never succeeding at getting there. I was attracting the same types of relationships with men that weren't emotionally open or ready for commitment. I would feel sad, frustrated, and lonely, wondering why I couldn't find someone that could just love me the way that I wanted to be loved. Didn't I deserve this too? Well, that morning in the hotel room when I woke up, something happened that dramatically changed the direction my life was heading. As I woke up, I felt that all too familiar sense of abandonment. But this time, it wasn't feeling abandoned by my boyfriend or anybody else around me. I felt like I abandoned myself. I felt like I wanted to abandon myself. As I sat there in that empty room thinking about what had happened, I literally just couldn't stand myself. Who had I become? Who was I? I had no idea. And then almost immediately, I heard this voice in my head say, "Tina, something has to change, and it's not them." You see, for my entire life, I put my happiness, my sadness, and pretty much all of my emotions into the hands of everyone and everything around me. And if you're realizing that you've been doing this too, stop blaming yourself, because it's not all that surprising. You see, we hear all these love songs that talk about, "I'm not complete without you, I'm no one without you." We see these movies that glorify the idea of being saved by someone or being the person that saves someone. And to be honest, for many of us growing up, we were taught to follow this straight line. Go to high school, go to college, get a great job, get married, have kids. And so we feel that this is the road to happiness, success, acceptance, and love. And so when things deviate from that, we really, really struggle. Well, here's the thing. When you put all of your faith and all of your emotions into the hands of other people and the situations around you, you have absolutely no control over those things. The only thing that you have control over is you and how you react to the things that happen to you. I was living a life of blame. Blaming myself, blaming others, blaming my circumstances, blaming my weaknesses. And in that moment, when I woke up in that hotel room and I looked around me and I heard that voice, I knew why my life was going in the direction that it was. And I finally made the most important decision that I have to say I've ever made in my entire life, and that was taking responsibility for me. In the spiritual book, the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, one's personal duty in life should be viewed as one's responsibility to his or her highest self. In that moment, I decided to take responsibility for my happiness, for my sadness, for my actions, and for my outcomes. I asked myself, what do I need to do right now to get those feelings of love, happiness, and fulfillment that I want? What do I need to do to make my life go in the direction that I want it to go in? And as I embarked on this journey, I realized that the people, the experiences, and the circumstances that I was attracting into my life, and I was actually attracting them, they were a mirror to what I was experiencing within myself. I was attracting men that weren't emotionally available because I wasn't. I wasn't able to really experience that feeling of love because I wasn't loving myself. And I really couldn't make others happy the way that I wanted to because I had no happiness within me to give. I never took the time to really connect and get to know my true self, to build up that confidence, to have my voice heard, and to really stand up for the life that I wanted to live and who I wanted to be. Instead, I focused so much more on what I could do for other people and who I could be for other people. And because I never took responsibility for myself, I always felt like a victim of my circumstances. I was literally the cause and my life was the effect. But this isn't about self-blame. This is about self-responsibility. This is about stepping into your power to create the life that you want to live and no longer leaving it in the hands of the people around you or the circumstances around you, a place where true change can never actually come from. This is about making a conscious choice to choose happiness, to be more positive to yourself and the people around you, and to find solutions for your pain and suffering rather than excuses for them. What I know now is that the universe wasn't giving me the same dead-end relationships, pain and suffering and struggling, health problems, emotional problems, because it was against me. It was giving me opportunity after opportunity to change my life around. So if you feel that you're going into this type of pattern, I want you to start looking at your life and say, is there an opportunity here? Have I been doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result? If so, find the opportunities in your challenges. But the thing here is, not only did I realize that I had to do something different, I took action on it. I immediately went to therapy and Buddhist meditation classes. I began asking more of myself than I did of others, and I started implementing small daily changes into my life. And slowly but surely, I started experiencing shifts that I hadn't experienced in my entire life. I had more feelings of love, joy, confidence, motivation, inspiration, and even started getting more opportunities than I ever had before. When you take responsibility for you, there's no limit to what you can achieve and experience. When you take responsibility for your life, you won't feel as much anger and disappointment and resentment towards the people and the circumstances in your life. You'll be able to see all the love and the opportunities that have always been available to you. And I guarantee the more you start connecting to who you truly are, filling your heart with the love, joy, and fulfillment that you want, and allowing that person to shine, the more you will start attracting people that will be able to elevate those feelings, and the more confidence you will have to let go of the people and circumstances that don't. Your life will start to become a true reflection of your desires instead of your fears. So now I want to give you some tips on how you can begin to start this process. These are things that really help me transform my life, help me take more responsibility and embrace responsibility. So the first one is pretty simple. You have to make the choice to take responsibility. That means no more blaming anyone or anything or any situation for your life right now. This is about stepping up and owning your power. Number two, get clear on who you want to be, what kinds of things that you want to do, what your values are, what kind of feelings and experiences you want to have on a daily, monthly, and even yearly basis. And ask yourself, what are ways that I can add more love, inspiration, and excitement into my life? Start thinking about what emotions and experiences you were giving up because you were waiting for other people to give them to you. Also think about what things that you were sacrificing to make others happy. So get out there and make sure to honor those things every single day. This is going to give you so much more confidence in being who you are and going after the life that you want, not following that straight line, but really creating the path that you want to follow. And it will put you in the driver's seat of your life. Third one is in any type of relationship, be it a romantic relationship, a friendship, relationships with people in your family or your coworkers. Always start to focus more on what you can give and share rather than what you're expecting and what you can get. Another tidbit of wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjun, in order to really release yourself from pain and suffering and experience more love and fulfillment and joy in your life, one's job in life is to act selflessly without thinking of personal benefit. Number four, get support. I didn't do this alone, and you don't have to either, and you really shouldn't. So get support from people that are going through what you're going through, from a coach, from a mentor, from spiritual books, YouTube videos, whatever it may be. But make sure that when you do this, you're around people that are trying to find a solution or that know that have the inspiration that can help you get through rather than talking about more of the pain and the suffering. Number five, in any challenging situation, always ask yourself, how can I react to this in a way that will not only benefit me, but the people around me? Remember, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it. Number six, kind of piggybacking on that, search for the opportunities within your challenges. When something happens, know that it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. There's opportunity after opportunity. Maybe it's a lesson, but whatever whatever it is. Challenges might feel uncomfortable, but they're really there to make you grow, to make you overcome your limiting beliefs and behaviors. So always look for the opportunities within your challenges. So look at your past as a learning tool with a lot of wisdom and knowledge. Look at your present as an opportunity to be greater than yesterday. And look at your future as having infinite possibility for the life that you desire. This is how you can rise above your limits, stop settling, and start living. So if you liked what you heard in this, if you had any ahas or realizations, or you really resonated with this topic, I'd love to hear from you. So if you're listening to this on Facebook or on YouTube, head on over to tinapaymaster.com and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And I'll see you back here soon.